Protecting Main Street from Wall Street. It's Chris Hoffman with Money Unleashed.
How much money do you put into your checking account from work on a month-to-month basis? It has a high probability that with your investable assets, we can replace that paycheck.
It's time to put you back in control of your money.
You've worked for 35 years. It's time for you to not stress. It's time for you to enjoy and live the retirement you want to live.
It's Money Unleashed with Chris Hoffman.
This is Money Unleashed with Chris Hoffman at the Hoffman Financial Group, proud partners of the Georgia Bulldogs. Hoffman Financial Group can be reached at 404-341-6767. You can also find us online at unleashyourmoney.com. Now, we spend decades in the working world to help fund our retirement, and what we want to accomplish once we get there looks different for everyone. I read an article this week on CNBC that Bill Gates of Microsoft wants to work another 20 to 30 years, Chris, and he's already 68 years old, has amassed a fortune that some of us may never fully comprehend. And while he discussed the why behind keeping going like that, Gates said that Warren Buffett still comes to work on Saturdays at age 94, so he has no plans to retire either. Now, Warren Buffett is also uniquely qualified here for this discussion, but I was wondering how you help people make that transition and key decisions in their financial lives when they reach retirement age, particularly if working in some way, shape, form, or fashion remains a top priority.
Yeah, so our clients, and I've had meetings with them last week, couples come in and we talk about, okay, when are you retiring? What are your aspirations? Do you like the work you're doing? There are many clients that I have that say, this job, I love it. I'm passionate about it. Certainly that, I would argue, keeps us younger. It keeps us mentally sharper and, to some extent, physically sharper. So there's nothing wrong with working as long as you want to work until it becomes stressful and prohibitive from you enjoying your later years of life. So I'll give you two examples, and my heart goes out to these professions. Nurses and teachers.
Yeah.
I mean, I won't go on a diatribe of all the pressure they're under and the lack of control that a lot of them have in their positions and the consistent additional workloads that are thrown at them. But the majority of my nursing and teacher clients come in and say, yes, I am ready as soon as you can tell me and show me the plan that I can accomplish a relatively safe and secure retirement. Mm-hmm. So it's very individualized. It is very important to meet with a financial advisory team to discuss the transition from going to work every day to possibly levering your employer to work from home and work less days. So there is a whole strategy we can actually outline to walk you into retirement. It's very interesting. I'll never forget putting together a full financial plan for a client. I won't name the company. A large corporation was doing constant restructuring and just loading him up with others' responsibilities. And he said, I want to retire next year. So we put together multiple iterations of a full financial plan for him. And he said, that's the one. I'm good. And he waited 2 years. When he went to his corporation and said, look, I'm thinking about retiring in the next 6 months or year, he basically controlled that conversation to the point where now the employer's on their heels. He's still working today.
Wow.
But he's working from home less days a week than he was when he was going into the office, and he's flipped the script. Do not let your employer control you. You have worked way too hard, way too long to have an employer say, here, we just fired somebody or we did a furlough or a layoff, and now you've got 2 additional spots of responsibility that you need to take over. No. You need to have a full financial plan built, ready. That way you can go to the employer and say, I don't accept this. It should be a two-way street. But unfortunately, a lot of corporations feel like it's a one-way street. They feel like we're dependent on them to provide that paycheck. So that's why we offer everybody a Replace My Paycheck challenge. If I could show you with your entire financial net worth and entire financial prowess how to distribute a reliable income check to you every month, and it matches what you're taking home from your employer and does not invade your principal, meaning let's say you got $1 million portfolio. If between Social Security and or pensions and or dividends and or structured notes and or bonds, et cetera, we can duplicate your take-home pay, many of you would say, I'm done.
Yeah.
And there is no reason for you not to get that free analysis done by us. We're here. We're ready. We do it for every one of our clients. We'd be happy to do it for any of our callers. So call us at 404-341-6767 or go to unleashyourmoney.com and click on the Replace My Paycheck Challenge. That'll be a platform for us to show you a distribution plan, which also involves tax strategies, and then we can incorporate that into a full financial plan. Now, the first plan that you see, it's interesting. It's more emotionally based than it is financial reality based, but there's a nervousness, and I understand that. And we work with pre-retirees and retirees, so we understand that this is a big step. Once I retire, I cannot go back. And that's the way we look at it, right? I mean, there's always an option, but we do not want to consider that. So we need to make sure we not only have the first plan, but the second plan, varying inflation rates, varying fixed income rates, varying market scenarios, and we can run a Monte Carlo simulation to ensure that you have a high probability of financial success in retirement. And then you sit on it and you let it bake. And you monitor it for 3 months or 6 months. Come back to us during your quarterly meetings with our fiduciary advisory team, and we retest it under varying scenarios. So this is a process, folks. A process that is in writing is amazingly beneficial in reducing stress. Unfortunately, a lot of advisory teams talk and talk only. They'll say, yeah, you're fine. We can generate $40,000 from this portfolio. We can do this from Social Security. We can get this from your pension. You should be fine in retirement. My answer to that advisor is, show me. Put it in writing. And they're reluctant to do it. I don't know why. But again, I have yet to see a caller come in for their first appointment and present us with their full financial plan.
Yeah.
You can show me a will. You can show me your trust documents. You can basically outline what you want to do with your estate plan, but financial planning, not in writing, is not a plan. So we will do that for you. We can do a full portfolio x-ray. We can do a Replace My Paycheck Challenge, and we can put it in a full financial plan. Guess what, folks? All of it complimentary and free. We obviously would love to manage it for you, but if you get that information and you say, no, I'm good managing it myself, or I want to stay with my current advisory team, no harm done. We appreciate the opportunity to shed some light on empowering you to not accept prohibitive and stressful pressure from your employer. Let's flip the script, put you in power of your future, not your employer.
You talk about two things that are important to people, their health and their wealth. Well, in your health, you would get a second opinion if you've got a diagnosis or got some news in which you would like to make sure. Well, wouldn't you like to make sure that your financial health is getting that second opinion as well? That is something the Hoffman Financial Group can offer you. And again, multiple iterations of the plan, not just one, not one that was designed for the person that walked in before you, not one that was designed for the person who's going to walk in next, but designed specifically for you, for your set of circumstances, and for your financial future. UnleashYourMoney.com is a great place to get started. You can click on any of those boxes, Portfolio X-Ray, Replace My Paycheck, a full financial plan as well, any one of those, or give us that call at 404-341-6767 to get started today. Now, speaking of Warren Buffett, and among the many things that a good financial planner can bring to the table is the ability to separate fact from emotion and vice versa. They can also help make things a bit less complicated, which is something the average investor very much needs. I speak as an average investor over here. In 1985, Warren Buffett sat down for his first TV interview ever. I was really happy to be able to dig this up, Chris. He was asked about what he believes is the most important quality for an investment manager. I want you to take a listen to this.
It's a temperamental quality, not an intellectual quality. You don't need tons of IQ in this business. You do not have to be able to play three-dimensional chess or be in the top leagues in terms of bridge playing or something of the sort. You need a stable personality. You need a temperament that neither derives great pleasure from being with the crowd or against the crowd. Because this is not a business where you take polls. It's a business where you think.
Now, Chris, those words may be nearly 40 years old, but they still ring true. And I know you charge all of your advisors at Hoffman Financial Group to follow the same line of thought and put it into action.
Yeah, before we dive into that clip, Did you say 40 years ago? I graduated high school in 1985. And every time I hear 1980s, I'm thinking, oh, that was 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Now it's going on 40 years. He sounds substantially younger, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that was a reality check for me, being 56, so almost 57 this month. But he absolutely hits the nail on the head. It's a temperamental game, not an intellectual game. Now, we need to be smart, right? We need to be proficient at managing your financial life, your investments, your estate plan, your overall tax planning, et cetera, et cetera. But it is a temperamental game. It's a game where if emotions get the best of you as an individual investor, I argue that you will make mistakes based on emotional investing. Let me give you an example. The market's been on a tear over the past 12, 13 years, with very few exceptions. COVID, certainly a scare. 2022, the market came down. But we've seen very little pressure on the downside. If you measure the last 12 years, 13 years, since the Great Recession, the market has been on a boom.
Yeah.
People get addicted to that. There's a fear of missing out. So people now want to press into high tech. I want more NVIDIA. I want more Microsoft. I want more Tesla. I want more Google and Meta. Well, more may not be the right answer. Less may be the right answer. So one of the things you need to be conscious of in managing the emotions around investing is a very simple adage or process. When the market is going up, you should be capturing a portion or possibly all of those gains and moving them to things that are less risky. That way, you don't get burned when the market retreats. You actually smile and say, I have money that did not get damaged by this market pullback, that stock looks attractive, that portfolio looks attractive, I'm going to reinvest. You sell when the market's high and you buy when the market's low. So ask yourself this question. Do you routinely do that with your financial advisory team? The market's been going up, 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 up. Have you been peeling those gains out to protect them or lower their exposure to market risk? And in 2022, were you in a position by the end of that year, once COVID was under control, to reinvest back into the market? If the answer is no, you're pushing in right now and you're happy about your stock portfolio, maybe you've doubled the size of your portfolio over the past 5 years. If you're contributing to your 401k, that's entirely possible. Mm-hmm. Don't look that gift horse in the mouth, folks. You need to be active in your management of your portfolio. Warren Buffett hits the nail on the head. It's not an intellectual game we're playing. It's a temperamental game. We have to control our emotions. If you want somebody to calm the emotions around your investment portfolio and be active in rebalancing it, that's when you engage us at Hoffman Financial Group and get with one of our fiduciary advisors to understand that this is a clinical game. This is not an emotional game we play. So call us at 404-341-6767 or go to unleashyourmoney.com and click on Portfolio X-Ray, and we'll get you set up with that complimentary meeting.
Chris Hoffman is an investment advisor representative of Retirement Wealth Advisors, Inc., an SEC-registered investment advisor. Registered investment advisors and investment advisor representatives act as fiduciaries for all of our investment management clients. We have an obligation to act in the best interest of our clients and to make full disclosures of any conflicts of interest, if any exist. Please refer to our firm brochure, the ADV2A, page 4, for additional information. The Hoffman Financial Group, Retirement Wealth Advisors, Inc., and WSB Radio are not affiliated. Exposure to ideas and financial vehicles discussed should not be considered investment advice or recommendation to buy or sell any financial vehicle. This information should not be considered tax or legal advice. Individuals should consult with a professional specializing in the field of tax, legal, accounting, or investments regarding the applicability of this information for their situation. Any client experiences discussed during the show are unique to that client. They are not meant to imply or suggest you will experience the same results. Past performance is not a guarantee of future results. Any comments regarding safe and secure products and guaranteed income streams refer only to fixed insurance products. They do not refer in any way to securities or investment advisory products. Fixed insurance and annuity product guarantees are subject to the claims-paying ability of the issuing company and are not offered by Brookstone. Hoffman Financial Group is not affiliated with or endorsed by the Social Security Administration or any other government agency. Investments will fluctuate and when redeemed may be worth more or less than when originally invested. Insurance licensed in Georgia, number 163546.